The GAC Sports Network welcomes you to the following presentation of the Great American Conference.
Live from the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, this is the 2018 Great American Conference Championship Tournament. Hello, friends. I'm Paul Smith. Michael Westbrook and Joey McWilliams will be along shortly. It's Top Seed Thursday here in Bartlesville, and we've got a couple of 2-7 matchups to start. We'll finish up with a pair of 1-8s. Our first event, Northwestern Oklahoma and Southern Arkansas on the men's side. Northwestern Oklahoma, the 2 seed, SAU, the 7. We'll follow with the women's 2-7 matchup between 2nd seed Arkansas Tech and 7th seed East Central. Then the top seeds will come in our afternoon session. 5:45, Southern Nazarene, the top seed on the men's side, your regular season champions, will face off against 8 seed Ouachita, and in our nightcap, it'll be Southwestern Oklahoma, the women's champion, in an 8 o'clock matchup against 8 seed Oklahoma Baptist. 4 days, 14 great games coming our way. Michael Westbrook, Joey McWilliams. Gentlemen, the call is yours.
In league history, the GAC tournament will feature at least one program from all 12 member institutions, and it's year 7 of the Great American Conference tournament in Bartlesville. We're broadcasting from the Adam Hooper Memorial Press Row, and we're ready to get the tournament underway. For Southern Arkansas, the starters for Andy Sharp in his 6th season with a record of 15-13. Number 1, CJ Elkins, a 6'3", 175 junior out of Minden, Louisiana. Number 4, Gabe Gillum, a 6'2", 170 freshman guard out of Shreveport, Louisiana. And number 22, Trey Davis, a 6'3", 170 freshman guard out of Magnolia. Number 23, Keaton Tennyson, a 6'4", 190 senior guard out of Valley Springs, Arkansas. And number 32, Wesley Nosakari, a 6'8", 260 junior forward out of Kansas City, Missouri. He's a load in the middle for SAU. And on the other side for Northwestern Oklahoma State and head coach Sean Durden in his 2nd year with a record of 21-6, it's A.J. Jones, Cedric Collins, Greg Miner, Cody Halverson, and Trayvon Andrus. Nosakari will jump in the center against Andrus. And the 2018 tournament is underway. Joey McWilliams, happy to be with you.
Glad to be back with you once again, Michael, and glad to be back here in Bartlesville. Northwestern getting it from the outside to get things going. Doesn't go in. Southern Arkansas, there's C.J. Elkins, and Elkins is a player to watch for the Mule Riders today.
A lot of attention will be on him, but he decides to go to a teammate on the first possession. Both sides missing on their first attempt. Northwestern in the white uniforms, again a 21-6 record. What a jump for Coach Sean Durden in his 2nd season, riding a 9-game winning streak into tournament play. A block underneath for SAU. KJ Collins. Well, CJ Elkins, former freshman of the year. No doubt a lot of attention will be on him, but you mentioned the 3-point shooting. Keaton Tennyson can light it up from downtown as well. Offensive foul. Nosakari called for the charge.
Just enough of that shoulder being lowered right there by Nosakari. I mean, that was an easy call on the inside. One of the things you talk about Elkins right now is he comes up to give a little full court pressure here. They're going to need him to be able to do both things today. It has to be a 2-point threat on the offensive side. He's the leading scorer. He needs to put points on the board, but he's going to have to distribute well today too, and he's gotten off to a good start so far.
Our officials, Jeff Malum, Casey Ely, and Owen Short. 10 on the shot clock for Northwestern. Drive in the paint and a pull-up from A.J. Jones.
Well, this could be a low-scoring game. If it's dictated by Northwestern, as games of late have been. They're not one of the leading scorers in the conference. They just take care of business. They shoot the ball well, efficiently, and just like that, they're great on defense.
A steal for Northwestern. Good hustle play that time from Greg Miner. Cody Halverson, 22nd in the league in scoring. He's 0 for 2 so far in the early going, averaging 13 a game.
Well, with any team, and here we are in day one, game one, expect to see a lot of this throughout today and even into tomorrow. Teams finding their legs here in Bartlesville, trying to find that early shot. Halverson hasn't found it just yet. Halverson, one of 5 players scoring in double figures for Northwestern. He's leading the way, just more than 12 points per game.
Scoring has been up this year on the men's side in league play. Elkins misfires. Loose ball, it will belong to Northwestern. But you wouldn't know that in this one. We're 2.5 minutes in and only 2 points. An A.J. Jones bucket from about 6 feet out. It's all we've seen so far.
A little bit more pressure now, full court from Southern Arkansas.
Collins finds the big man inside, and Northwestern throws it away. See, that was...
No, and you need to touch that ball.
Right, so it should be inbounded back here, right?
No, it was going to be inbounded on the other end of the court. That was a mental letdown on the part of Collins right there. You have to touch the ball. Make them throw it in from half court. On a backcourt violation, as it would have been, you throw the ball in half court. Now they get a baseline right over here, and Elkins can dictate on an inbound play.
Trey Johnson on the floor for Northwestern. Another shot missed by Gillum, and a rebound picked up by Trayvon Andrus. Well, first effort doesn't go, the putback from Johnson.
I think that is the biggest letdown for Southern Arkansas right there. You have the play you want, you have the shot you want. They don't get the shot to fall, and then quickly the other direction, 2 more points for Northwestern.
Stifling defense from the Rangers so far. Didn't make the tournament last year, but they're back now as the 2 seed. SAU won their last 2 games to get in as the 7 seed. And Keaton Tennyson is fouled.
Well, in Southern Arkansas, they are a fixture here in Bartlesville in the 7 years of the Great American Conference Tournament. The Mule Riders have been here every single year, hovering right around a 5 seed, 7 seed as they are this year, but they make it. And that's the key, Michael, in anything. You just have to be there. Interesting things can happen, but you have to show up.
Absolutely. Foul was on Jones a moment ago. Traveling violation against Gabe Gillum is a turnover on SAU. And Coach Sean Durden for Northwestern is going to use the opportunity to bring in Akeem Oglesby, averaging nearly 10 points a game. And Keaton Tennyson will take a seat for SAU. He's replaced by Draylon Perkins. Well, and also Charlie Thomas in.
Sorry, I said you have to show up. I'm not sure Southern Arkansas has shown up yet in this. Yeah. Uniforms are out there, but some turnovers, unforced errors.
Oh, I thought he had 2 easy ones inside. Instead, out to Andrus. Long shot and a long rebound. Decent idea, not a great pass. Recovered, however, by Northwestern. How about that? They're going to get 3 chances on this trip. And the first 3 of the game is dropped in by Halverson. SAU needs a timeout. Seven 0 Northwestern in the early going. We'll step away as well. First 4 minutes of the GAC tournament in the books from Bartlesville on the GAC Sports Network.
Do you want more recognition for your team?
Who should I ask if I have any problems? How can I share my ideas?
How can you get involved and make it yours? Joining Student Athlete Advisory Committee allows your voice to be heard.
The mission of SAC is to enhance the total student athlete experience by promoting opportunity, protecting welfare, and fostering a positive image. Who is SAC?
SAC members are student athletes supporting other student athletes. SAC members vote on rules, partner with great organizations such as Make-A-Wish and Team Impact, and build pride on campus and in the community.
There are 3 different levels of SAC to get involved in. At the campus level, there are 307 Division II institutions that sponsor SAC. Each campus SAC is led by an athletic administrator and a committee made up of student athletes from a variety of athletic teams.
There are 24 Division II conferences, each with their own conference SAC. The representatives.
A 3 from Cody Halverson a moment ago for Northwestern, and the Rangers lead the Mule Riders 7-0. Just inside 16 minutes left in the first half. SAU taking a timeout a moment ago. A lob up top to Thomas. He hesitated a little too long there, but still got it to go.
Well, it was a nice pass. Good find off the full court pressure from Northwestern. Southern Arkansas had it beaten. Little trip up right there, but they had to have those 2 points, especially coming out of the timeout.
Halverson fires again from up top and knocks it down.
2 from long range for Halverson. You know, Northwestern's one of those teams, second in the league in three-point field goal percentage. They do like the long ball. We'll actually talk about that little Northwestern baseball coming up here in a little bit because, man, they've been putting it out of the park at will this season. It's a team that likes the long ball, but still, they don't shoot that many three-pointers.
Right.
Just 10th in the league in three-pointers attempted, even though they've been very successful.
Coach Ryan Bowen, the new head coach of the Northwestern baseball team.
They're doing pretty well.
Absolutely.
They have more home runs in 15 games this season than they had in the entirety of all last year.
Unbelievable. Another 3 on its way from Northwestern. Wow, Akeem Oglesby.
And you know, Michael, that's a shift for Northwestern as well. Things weren't working on the inside. Northwestern's been playing like the bigger team so far. Neither of these teams particularly big. Southern Arkansas, you would think, would be more aggressive on the inside. Northwestern's been there, and the last 2 minutes it's been a shift. The opening on the outside, and the Rangers have taken care of it. 3 from long range.
Elkins fouled on his way. Well, no Sakari, the big 6'8" man in the middle, just played a couple of minutes. He's on the bench, but he's set to cut back in now, so see what kind of presence he makes on the inside.
Well,
foul on Northwestern's Oglesby.
Michael, you talked about that on a previous possession. 1, 2, 3 opportunities that Northwestern had. Finally capitalized on the left corner shot by Halverson to get that to go. But they've been able to move the ball inside and out. So the success now has been coming from the three-point ball. They've been playing like the bigger team.
Elkins averaging 14 a game, a 70% free throw shooter, has 1 of 2, and that's his first point today. 13-4 Northwestern, nearing 14 minutes left first half. Nice lob inside, extra pass underneath to Johnson, mishandled. Back inside to Johnson, and Nosakari, who just checked into the game, will be called for the foul.
Now, you have to like the extra pass for the most part. That time not necessary, though. That one should have just been taken straight to the rack. Had a defensive breakdown there, the opening on the near side, and should have taken advantage of it.
And that's 2 on Nosakari, so he's back on the bench, replaced by K.J. Collins.
Well, you talk about coming out on the court for a cup of coffee, and
yeah,
and that's about it. I don't think he had time to let the coffee get cold.
No, I don't think so. This Northwestern team has played some extremely close games during their 9-game win streak. Johnson will turn around and fire, no good. And Collins has the rebound for SAU. It's gonna, what are we doing on this one here?
They call a foul. Wow.
On Northwestern?
On Northwestern, yes. It was on Collins. He reached in there. From this perspective, looked like he just grabbed the ball, but picks up the foul there.
Here's Aaron Lucas seeing his first game action for SAU. Lucas guarded by Oglesby. And Lucas at the rim and in. Fading away, kind of.
Well, his momentum carried him on through the lane, but you have to like the aggressive attack at the basket. Southern Arkansas needs to have something go right for them offensively before this thing gets out of hand.
No doubt. They need a spark. Minor pull-up jumper. Wouldn't fall. Devontae Brooks the rebound. Here comes Elkins. SAU has to get Elkins going to be successful. Tennyson's been on the bench for a while, so not a lot of outside shooters there. Lucas with 5 seconds on the shot clock makes his move to the rim. Collins put back, no good. Here comes Northwestern. Oglesby all the way to the rim and in.
Oh, boy, the adjustment in the air, falling away to the left, up and over 2 defenders. Michael, you talked about the 9-game winning streak and Northwestern playing in some tight contests. You win 9 in a row. Only one of those wins was in double figures for Northwestern. I mean, they've done what they needed to get done, and that's exactly what's carrying into today. The hottest team in the conference, men or women, coming in 9 consecutive victories. You have to think about something else. During that, Michael, 5 of those games, of those wins, were on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a neutral site here, but you come away with 5 road victories in conference play. That says something.
We'll talk more about that when we come back from the break. It's all Northwestern early. Inside 12 to play in the first half. 15-7, the Rangers lead the Mule Riders here on the GAC Sports Network.
It's on us to stop sexual assault
in any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
to stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us.
It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault. Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
$11:54 to play in the first half. Northwestern leads Southern Arkansas 15-7. Let's talk about that a little bit deeper, Joey. From February the 8th to February 17th, Northwestern won 4 games by a combined 5 points. And I was talking to Jay Lee, sports information director for the Rangers, prior to the tournament, and he said it seemed like every game was a 1 or 2 point game. And so I said, well, I'll go back and look it up. And he was right during that stretch for sure.
And they come out with a win. Their final 2 wins, which, by the way, again, as we mentioned just before the break, on the road, they get a victory, a 1-point victory at Ada. They also get a 3-point victory at Durant against East Central and Southeastern, respectively. It's a team that, again, they're able to play clutch ball and get things done when it matters.
Full court press here from SAU.
I'm going to go ahead and say nominal. I mean, you get a zone like that and dribbling through that zone, that's nominal full court pressure at best.
Trayvon Andrus is back on the floor for Northwestern. Holding foul called on SAU as Halverson was held.
Basically, with a defensive look like that, what you're hoping to do is get something off the inbound. If you can't get the inbound, they back off a little bit, set back up in the half-court look.
They put the foul on Trey Davis, his first for Southern Arkansas. Jones had the game's first points, finds the open man. Good pass, Andrus finishes it.
Oh, the lefty. It looked nice.
And Northwestern's going to press as well. Keaton Tennyson back on the floor for Southern Arkansas. Elkins receiving his first break. But he's about as close as you can get without being in the game. He's right at the edge of the scorer's table on the opposite side of us. Strong effort inside by Charlie Thomas. He's got 4 points.
And they've been big points, too. I talked about Northwestern playing like they're a little bit bigger. Right now, the ball knocked right to Thomas in the head of the pack. Here come the Mule Riders.
Lucas with a strip. They find Thomas underneath. It was blocked at the rim. Thomas is fouled.
Well, and he had to go down with the ball. Ordinarily, you get the ball back up like that, put it straight back up. Didn't get a good handle on it. Had to go down with it, take the one dribble. He's fouled to go to the line. He's playing like a big man now.
Second foul on Cedric Collins. And I think he's going to come out of the game as Brandon Green is waiting to check in. Thomas is 79% free throw shooter. Elkins didn't sit long. He's back on the floor as well for Southern Arkansas. Mule Rider team that picked up a 2-point win against Ouachita in the last game of the regular season and defeated Henderson 2 nights before, going 2-0 on that Arkadelphia swing.
Well, that's how you take care of business. I mean, you want to close out the season on as positive a note as absolutely possible, and really rather not limp into the playoffs. We'll talk about that with the girls tournament, as there were a couple teams limping into the playoffs there. You want to go in strong. But, man, the end of the regular season schedule with all the weather delays and postponements and shifts and playing 2 games in 2 days to close out the season.
Jones tries to dial up a 3, wouldn't go. Mule Riders out in front. Here's Davis. Thomas spinning inside, had it blocked by, that may have been Green. It's going to be Northwestern basketball. Talked a lot about Elkins, and rightfully so, but this is kind of a young team for SAU. I've got some key pieces that are freshmen, playing a lot of minutes this year. Gabe Gillum being one of them. Trey Davis another. Devontae Brooks. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line doesn't go for Greg Miner.
Well, and even Elkins himself, he's a junior, so he'll be a part of this next year as this team continues to grow and find itself.
Elkins hasn't had an answer yet today, though. Work it inside to Thomas, 10 on the shot clock. A 3 misfires from Trey Davis. Northwestern inside 10 to play in the first half, hold a 17-9 advantage.
We talk about Green. There's Brandon Green right now with the ball, directing traffic. Hasn't been starting for the team especially into the second semester. He comes off the bench, but what he provides off the bench is absolutely, it's a spark. He makes a difference, and I think that may be a pretty solid role for him.
10 points a game, one of the best shooters in the league. 3 from deep in the corner by Miner is good.
Well, give him the assist that time with those 3, and now a double-digit lead again.
SAU 0 for 3 from downtown. Northwestern is 4 of 7. There's your difference right now. Tennyson wanted it. Elkins couldn't get it to him. He'll reset. He's got 10 on the shot clock. Elkins shot, no good. He got it back.
He stuck around.
Elkins got it to go.
Very good. Thought he might have forced that first shot a little bit, shot clock winding down, and had to make something happen, but you like the tenacity there. He didn't take the shot and run the other direction. He stayed with it, got the offensive board, and he got 2 points for his team.
A.J. Jones, 10th in the league in assists. Halverson with 2 3-point makes already in the contest. This is going to be his shot. 5 on the shot clock. A step back 3, no good. And a rebound by Devontae Brooks. Elkins trying to take over, had it stripped. Out in front, there's a foul and 1 for Greg Miner. And that'll send us to the media timeout. Northwestern still up big in the early going. We're back in a moment. This is the GAC Sports Network. Northwestern Rangers playing like a 2 seed against a 7 seed so far in the early going. They have doubled up the Mule Riders, 22-11.
Well, ride, Rangers, ride, and that's what they're doing right now. I mean, they are quick to get to both ends of the court. You have to like the way they're playing. Ball movement on offense, and that's been big so far. One of the leaders in the league, 4th in the league in assists. They move the ball very, very well. But the defensive side, too. They've been able to get to positions well, other than a couple of looks inside to Thomas, which, by the way, he's been able to take advantage of, get to the free throw line on another opportunity as well. They're playing solid, forcing Southern Arkansas to try to get the ball into challenging positions. The open passing lanes have not been there for the Mule Riders so far. So good play on both sides of the ball for the Rangers.
Ride, Rangers, ride against the Mule Riders.
There you go.
Is that right?
I think that's it.
2 very similar logos there, just facing opposite directions.
Which one of those guys is going to stay more likely to stay on his horse?
I don't know. It's a good question. Greg Miner at the free throw line, and he completes the three-point play.
All you need is 8 seconds, right?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Miner takes a seat right now. Johnson into the game now for Northwestern.
You know, SAU and Northwestern, both big rodeo schools, too.
Oh, yes.
So.
It is that time. Spring rodeo.
That's right.
Spring rodeo season started about 3 weeks ago.
Good play by Elkins. Elected not to take the three, got a better shot. And he's heading to the line.
And Jones got in close, backed away, but his momentum took him into Elkins, and Elkins played it up well. I like that he didn't look for the foul either. The foul was coming. He looked to make the shot, got the shot, and the and-one opportunity.
Elkins with the free throw. He's up to 6 points now.
Well, you get it out of that double-digit deficit and try to make something happen before the intermission. Halverson's about to check back in for the Rangers.
Northwestern won both games in the regular season against Southern Arkansas. Andrus draws a double team. 10 to shoot for Oglesby from the free throw line. A little short. But oh, by the way, a 2-point game on February the 10th when they played each other. So.
Yes.
3 from Aaron Lucas. 5 points for Lucas. Little mini run here from SAU.
Well,
6-0 run.
It's, you know, sometimes it just happens a little bit at a time sometimes. Those are 2 possessions.
Johnson strong to the rim, but it'll be waved off. Offensive foul.
Last 2 trips for Northwestern can be summed up in no passing. He's one look to the inside. Johnson tries the move a little too strong. The time before that coming down a little bit too much too much of a dribbling clinic on the previous possession by Oglesby, and neither one coming away with points. They've been successful when they pass the ball well.
Halverson's back in. We'll see if that factors in, if they spread it out a little bit. Lucas hitting a 3 a moment ago. This time drives, hangs, and he hits.
Oh, wow. It's a game again.
Northwestern by only 4 all of a sudden on an 8-0 SAU run in just over a minute of play. Andrus backs down Taylor. Another offensive rebound, a deadly shooter. 3 3-pointers for Halverson.
Boy, he caught that in motion, squared up, and what a great look. Oh!
Wow. Lucas somehow comes away with it.
Oh, Green was going to take that the other way off a great block.
Offensive foul, an illegal screen set by Devontae Brooks.
Well, and Brooks had his legs set, but you get the shoulder, you get the forearm there. It's going to be an easy call for the official. Movement. He wasn't running to get to his spot, but the upper body movement made for the moving screen, the violation.
So Brooks goes out and KJ Collins is back in. 7-point Northwestern lead. Wide open 3, and it is good for Akeem Oglesby. 6 of 10 from downtown for Northwestern.
And a game that had got to within a 4-point margin, now back up to 10 again on 2 shots.
Elkins is doing his part to get to the rim and get to the free throw line. He's fouled again. 7th foul against Northwestern in the first half, and the 2nd against Oglesby. Elkins 2 of 3 at the line in the contest.
Well, and with another make there for Elkins, he's been on the court more than any other player for either team right now. He hasn't checked out of this contest yet. I think the big stat right now, though, he has just the 1 assist. He's going to have to get some help from his teammates. Some of those shots have to fall as well.
Northwestern won big the first time these two teams played on January the 4th in Alva. It was 84-63. Now Brandon Green decided no thanks on that open shot, and it works to his advantage. A foul on Aaron Lucas. Green's a 40% three-point shooter. Surprised he didn't take that there.
That was a nice delay. I think he saw Lucas coming through. Of course, just the first personal foul against Lucas. And not just Green, too, a 40% free throw shooter. How about this, Michael? The team shooting 40% from behind the arc, too. It's a nice, solid number.
Well, how about this? It's a 1-and-1. Northwestern's not going to put anybody on the blocks. Halverson's an 83% free throw shooter, so they're confident in the sixth best free throw shooter in the league. They know what they're doing. Halverson already in double figures with 10, and his team leads by that margin. Two for two for Halverson. You know, these teams not used to playing at noon. You wonder how much they're going to have left in the tank in the second half with all the full court pressing that we've seen.
Well, hey, listen, they had to make adjustments last weekend. That's, I think, one of the big things, too. I mean, with the weather, we touched on it briefly, the weather in Oklahoma and in Arkansas.
Officials saying the ball did hit the rim. They'll reset the shot clock violation. It'll take us to a media timeout, but you want
to? It should. I don't think they're going to. I think the stoppage in play, is it?
Yep.
Wow. I didn't think it would.
We'll pick up that point when we come back. Northwestern by 11, 31-20 our score here on the GAC Sports Network.
What makes Henderson a better choice in education? Is it the campus or the buildings? Is it class size or professors with PhDs? Is it the cost, the value? What is it about Henderson?
It's me.
A strong educational foundation from Henderson put Richard Jacobs on the road to becoming a doctor. Today, he's at the forefront of pediatric research and care. Henderson prepares today's students for tomorrow because what counts is what you become. Henderson's
3:57 to play in the first half. Northwestern has led throughout, and they're up by 11 right now against SAU.
And we were talking about the weather in both Oklahoma and Arkansas. Of course, the footprint of the GAC and just so many postponements. I thought this was just incredible, and it will warrant attention as the day goes on because some of these teams played ridiculous times. I mean, senior day for Southwestern. Of course, you have the Oklahoma high school playoffs going on, and Southwestern hosting some of those playoff games. So you have that going on, and then shifting between which venue are you going to have your senior day in for Southwestern? Is it going to be in the Big Pioneer Cellular Event Center? Is going to be in Rankin? This is what was interesting. Southwestern's women, they had senior morning.
Oh, goodness.
Friday morning, they played it at 11 a.m.
Oh, wow.
So these teams, you talk about a noon start right now. Man, they've been all out of kilter in the last week and a half or so. So I think just getting on the court and playing some ball, I think they have their legs now.
Hey, but it's an indoor sport and you can play. I like that aspect of it at least. Elkins, long three.
He shot that just about even with where Coach Durden was standing. Wow, that was way out there, 25 feet.
He has matched Halverson. He has 10. Green looking inside. Collins says it was off of Northwestern. The refs don't agree. Still 12 to shoot for Northwestern. Draylon Perkins actually led the way for SAU in the first matchup between these two teams. He scored 18. Haven't heard from him yet. Trayvon Andrus had 18 as well. Oh, at the shot clock. Trey Johnson. Green.
Excuse me, Green. And you know, Michael, that's what he does. Just 2 weeks ago, he had back-to-back games in which he had the game winner. In fact, and you talked about Jay Lee a little bit earlier as that one drops for Southern Arkansas. Jay had one of the best lines that I've seen from one of the write-ups this year as Green, his team trailing Southern Nazarene, then undefeated Southern Nazarene by 2 points with 3 seconds left, took the inbound just past half court, put up a 35-footer off the glass. They win. They give Southern Nazarene first loss of the season, and as Jay Lee put it, the shot heard round the GAC.
I saw the video.
Yeah.
It made it to social media pretty quickly. Trey Johnson was fouled. He's heading to the line. Coach Sharp having a conversation with the official about that call. 8th team foul against SAU. A look inside to Thomas. Has his shot rejected. Andrus. Lucas, offensive foul.
Now,
referees are being consistent with the charge call.
I think they are. I think it's a good call. Well, what if you're looking at it from the Southern Arkansas perspective there, the ball goes into Thomas, movement shuts down, and it has the last couple of times. A long rebound takes its way right back to Green, but the defense didn't have to move either.
Watch out, 2-on-1 for Northwestern. Almost a travel. Step back three, Oglesby. And a rebound by Thomas. Missed opportunity there for Northwestern. Elkins is hit, heading back to the line.
A little bit of a touch foul that time. Green just got a hand in the midsection there, right? Got to call that.
Free throws 6 and 7 for Elkins here in the first half.
Now, part of that, too, was just the incredible body control. I mean, Elkins could get to moving, stop on a dime, and just go straight up. And that's kind of tough to defend.
We mentioned towards the beginning of the broadcast that the scoring seems to be up on the men's side this year in the GAC. SAU is averaging 77.4, and it's important to get that .4 in there to tell you that that's 7th best in the league. That's a pretty high number. That should win a game most nights.
I would think 77.4 would win a game in this one. I don't know that we make it to 77.4.
It's only 1/10 behind Southern Nazarene, who won the league, by the way.
We're going to get a warning right here, and you won't see it on camera there, but coming up with the Andrus after the whistle was blown, who went up and tried the dunk. Of course, it went off the back iron, so there'll be a warning. Next to delay in action should be a violation. Might get a technical.
Stay with us at halftime. Paul Smith is going to have Bob Pomeroy on with us. It's always good to visit with Bob. Lob inside to Thomas. He's played well around the rim. He has 6. Green working on Collins, falls down. Travel. Fifth turnover for Northwestern. SAU with 5 as well in the first half. It seemed like we were heading towards a runaway for a while there, but 6-point game all of a sudden.
Well, you mentioned in the last couple trips down the court, missed opportunities for Northwestern.
Perkins, talked about him a moment ago, needing to get on track. He has 5 now.
And this is as close as this game has been in a long time. It's exactly what Southern Arkansas needed going into the intermission. Coach Durden wants to take a timeout, make the most of this, and might even try for a 2-for-1 out of this if you get things set up properly in the timeout.
And we'll take it as well. Northwestern by just 3. Closing down the first half. We're back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
Opportunity begins here.
Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
Seize your opportunity. Soar to new heights with our nationally accredited aviation program.
Seize your opportunity.
Southeastern's renowned education program has launched thousands of teaching careers.
Seize your opportunity.
From occupational safety, health and business to behavioral and natural sciences.
Seize your opportunity.
Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
SC.edu.
Log on now
and seize your opportunity.
A timeout from Sean Durden and Northwestern. Inside a minute to play in the first half, and the Rangers by 3 as play resumes here in Bartlesville. Northwestern content to run the shot clock down. Nothing for Halverson, 3 to shoot. Green has to hurry. Did he get it away in time? Well, they say he did. Play resumes on.
I didn't think so.
I didn't either. So a chance for SAU, believe it or not, to get within 1 or maybe go to halftime tied. Elkins draws the contact. Foul against Trey Johnson.
Well, I mean, even the 2 seed right here, if you're a Northwestern fan, you've seen this movie before. We've talked about this again and again. They win the games, but it's tight. It's not really a blowout, and that's what we're seeing here, at least through the first nearly 20 minutes.
It's a 1-1. SAU is 3 of 9 from the free throw line as a team. Elkins is 4 of 8. Well, as you said, Northwestern's had some buzzer beaters. Plenty of time for them. Inbounds will go to Halverson. 3 seconds for Halverson. Double team. Finds Andrus just inside half court at the buzzer. So close. Northwestern leads by 1. Your first half thoughts, Joey, while we wait on Paul?
Well, I would say a little bit surprised by how Southern Arkansas has been able to stay in this. With the early lead built up by Northwestern, thought it might have been, a little bit of a runaway there from that point. Southern Arkansas had some early turnovers and then able to play a little bit more consistently through the latter part of the first half.
All right, let's head to courtside. Paul Smith at halftime.
So tomorrow at the Great American Conference Championship Tournament, we'll have another day of first-round matchups. We'll see the 4-5s and the 3-8s. We will start at noon tomorrow with Southeastern Oklahoma State, the 4 seed on the men's side, against Arkansas Tech, the 5 seed on the men's side. We will follow that up with a 2:15 matchup between East Central and Arkansas Monticello. That is a 3-6. At 5:45 tomorrow, we will see the women's 4-5 between Harding and Southeastern Oklahoma State. Harding the 4, Southeastern the 5. And then the nightcap tomorrow night, Henderson State and Ouachita Baptist in the 3-6 matchup. That one's going to tip here at 8 o'clock. We've had a great start here today. SAU and Northwestern in a 1-point game at halftime. We will come back with the second half of this one in just a few minutes. This is the GAC Sports Network.
Do you want more recognition for your team?
Who should I ask if I have any problems? How can I share my ideas?
How can you get involved and make it yours? Joining Student Athlete Advisory Committee allows your voice to be heard.
The mission of SAC is to enhance the total student athlete experience by promoting opportunity, protecting welfare, and fostering a positive image. Who is SAC?
SAC members are student athletes supporting other student athletes. SAC members vote on rules, partner with great organizations such as Make-A-Wish and Team Impact, and build pride on campus and in the community.
There are 3 different levels of SAC to get involved in. At the campus level, there are 307 Division II institutions that sponsor SAC. Each campus SAC is led by an athletic administrator and a committee made up of student athletes from a variety of athletic teams.
There are 24 Division II conferences, each with their own conference SAC. The representatives share best practices, success stories, and new ideas that can be brought back to each campus SAC.
The National SAC is made up of 1 student athlete from each of the 24 Division II conferences. These student athletes are your voice and are charged with the responsibility of relaying the overall student athlete voice for the division.
Your voice has value.
Get involved. Take ownership in your experience.
Leave a legacy.
Make it yours!
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
In any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
To stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us. It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault. Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
SAU feels like home because I've been treated like one of their own from the very beginning. While at SAU, I felt comfortable, encouraged, and motivated to succeed.
SAU feels like home because the atmosphere makes me feel secure and like I'm a part of a family.
SAU feels like home because everyone is here for our students. They care about our success.
Come visit SAU and see why so many students are saying that Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
What makes Henderson a better choice in education? Is it the campus or the buildings? Is it class size or professors with PhDs? Is it the cost, the value? What is it about Henderson?
It's me.
A strong educational foundation from Henderson put Richard Jacobs on the road to becoming a doctor. Today, he's at the forefront of pediatric research and care. Henderson prepares today's students for tomorrow because what counts is what you become. Henderson State University.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
In any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
To stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us. It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
What makes Henderson a better choice in education? Is it the campus or the buildings? Is it class size or professors with PhDs? Is it the cost, the value? What is it about Henderson?
It's me.
A strong educational foundation from Henderson put Richard Jacobs on the road to becoming a doctor. Today, he's at the forefront of pediatric research and care. Henderson prepares today's students for tomorrow because what counts is what you become. Henderson State University.
Opportunity begins here.
Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
Seize your opportunity. Soar to new heights with our nationally accredited aviation program.
Seize your opportunity.
Southeastern's renowned education program has launched thousands of teaching careers.
Seize your opportunity.
From occupational, safety, health, and business to behavioral and natural sciences.
Seize your opportunity.
Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
SC.edu.
Log on now.
And seize your opportunity.
Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
SAU feels like home to me because it is my home away from home. My professors, friends, and classmates have taken on a caring and supportive role for me.
SAU feels like home because the faculty treats me like a part of their family and they do everything in their power to help me succeed.
SAU feels like home to me because the atmosphere on campus makes me feel secure and like I'm part of a family.
Come visit SAU and see why so many students are saying that Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
Southern Nazarene University was just ranked the best college in the state of Oklahoma by Money Magazine. That's big news, but it's not a surprise to us. Money ranks SNU as one of the top 50 colleges you can actually get into, and in the top 50 most affordable private colleges in the nation. Why travel when Southern Nazarene University is right here in Bethany, Oklahoma? Inspired academic excellence in a success-driven environment. Southern Nazarene University, the best college in Oklahoma.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
For me, that meant that I could afford to go to college. When I was considering colleges, it was important to find one that my parents and I could afford.
So I was happy to find that I could attend the University of Arkansas at Monticello at one of the lowest costs of any four-year college in the state. Affordability, tradition, a great college experience.
It all comes together here at UAM.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
I'll ride the highway, I'm going my way.
If you're a free-range chicken, you roam free. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to GEICO. It's what you do.
Yeah.
A triangle solo? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Sam and Joanna saved by switching to GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student.
Welcome to the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. We're just about ready for the second half of our opening game of the 2018 Great American Conference Tournament. Michael Westbrook along with Joey McWilliams and Paul Smith. 33-32, Northwestern leads by 1, but Joey, they did not score in the final 3:16 of the game of first half, and they were outscored 12-2 in the last 4 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, it was a nice run by Southern Arkansas. The team led in scoring in the first half by C.J. Elkins, the junior, with a game-high 12 points, 5 of 9 shooting from the field. And I think a big number here is just the 1 assist. And again, I think he still does need to get some help from his friends. That's starting to develop some as the first half wound down. A 5 for 11 from the free throw line for Southern Arkansas. And Michael, you miss, you're shooting less than 50% from the free throw line in a game in which you're losing by just 1. That's a key stat for Northwestern, led by Cody Halverson, 11 points, 3 for 5 shooting from behind the arc. The team 6 of 12 from behind the arc as a team. And both teams had 5 turnovers, but Northwestern's came in the latter part of the first half. That was when Southern Arkansas made its run right there. Another big number. Let's talk about assists. Stay there for just a moment. Brandon Green off the bench, played 16 minutes, has 6 assists already for the Rangers.
That's more than SAU as a team. So like you said, Mule Riders need to get a few more players involved, and Elkins needs his teammates to start dropping some shots in. Elkins will inbound in front of us to start the second half. He's joined by Aaron Lucas, Keaton Tennyson, KJ Collins, and Charlie Thomas. That's the 5 on the floor for the Mule Riders in the blue uniforms. And they're looking for their first lead, and they've got it right there on the Charlie Thomas basket.
Nice move by Thomas. Now Northwestern showed zone. Might should have stayed with it. They pulled back out into a man, and Thomas, a great move on the inside against Andrus.
Collins with a steal, looking for the contact, blew the layup. Tried to do a little too much there. Probably could have had the easy 2.
I think so as well. Looked like he wanted to go in from the right side. Maybe should have taken advantage of the left.
Northwestern has Cody Halverson, Trayvon Andrus, A.J. Jones, Cedric Collins, and Greg Miner on the floor to start the second half. Andrus draws the double team, 8 to shoot, he backs it out. Rangers have to hurry. Jones with 3 to shoot, finds a teammate cutting through the lane, and Miner has the 2.
Great job on the cutter for Miner. Have to give some props, though, to Southern Arkansas, especially nice help coming off the backside there to block things in on the inside, not give Andrus the easy basket, turnaround basket, which is what Thomas had to start this second period.
Northwestern this season was second in the Great American Conference with a team shooting percentage of 48%. They only shot 41% in the first half. Collins backs his way in. A foul underneath against Collins, his 3rd.
Northwestern not getting the offside help quickly enough coming over. And Collins picking up that foul, trying to keep from giving up the easy basket.
Thomas pumps to the rim. I said it in the first half. He's played well inside. He's into double figures now with 10.
He really has. Nice look-away pass by Elkins just to get it to him. Thomas just found himself wide open for that. Had to work for the basket, but a great pass on the inbound.
Boy, A.J. Jones and Aaron Lucas had some contact. Ends up being a Ranger turnover. It's the 2-7 matchup, and if this is any indication as to what the tournament might be like, you're in for a good one, I think. Elkins open. Who's going to come up with it? Aaron Lucas, the littlest guy on the floor, gets it. Elkins tries again, misfires on both attempts. Collins, the layup plus the foul.
He had to will that one in. Looked like it hit the underside of the rim, found its way to roll up and over, and he gets the and one opportunity as well. What a great effort with the steal and taking it, just staying ahead of the pack. You know, Northwestern now, we mentioned 6 for 12 from behind the arc. It's a team that averages just less than 23-point attempts per game. A little bit higher pace than that, but again, shooting 50% from behind the arc. They're doing well. They average about 40%. That's pretty solid. 8th in the league, though, in three-point attempts, 9th in three-pointers made.
Right.
They just don't do it that often, and they've been successful at it, though, when they do.
And they're also very good at defending the three as well. Here's Tennyson. That's 3 misses in a row from downtown for SAU.
You're seeing that stat that you just mentioned at work.
Greg Minor scores again. He's into double figures. Yeah, opponents hit only 33% from three-point range against this Ranger team. I still like to see Draylon Perkins get a little more involved. Jump stop in the lane from Elkins. Talk about willing one in. I think he did that on that one.
And he really did. Now, Northwestern moved back to a zone defense that time. They needed some help down low. They get the help down low, but the two top defenders split, and Elkins saw that the Red Sea had just parted for him. He found the path right down the lane to take advantage and make the shot.
Back and forth again, and Northwestern gets one right at the rim. Andrus scoring.
I'll tell you what, for either one of these fan bases, I think you have to feel really good about your chances right now. For Southern Arkansas, they've had a lead. They've come back. They're still in this, a game that could have gotten away from them. You think, yeah, there's an opportunity. For Northwestern, another day at the office. It's a tight contest. They're ahead by 3.
Tennyson, no look pass to Collins.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd be clapping too as Tennyson was clapping there. That was a great pass. Just Northwestern's second tournament appearance all time. Of course, they've not had as many years to be eligible as their opponent here today. SAU making its 7 straight tournament appearances. 3 to shoot for Northwestern. Minor's going to have to make something happen at the shot clock buzzer. A rebound by Thomas. Oh, Elkins, might have been a foul, might have been a travel. Play on either way.
Yeah, I think you could make a statement for both of those. I think, though, the statement that has to be made here is what Andy Sharp continues to do with this program. In his 6th season as a program, you know, they've made it to the GAC tournament all 6 seasons, 7 seasons in the league that they've been a part of postseason play and been up here in Bartlesville. It's a fan base, too, that should be pretty familiar with the life around here. You know, Bartlesville, the Sports Commission, and you're encouraged even out front to visit Bartlesville, enjoy Bartlesville, but wow, this is a team that's been here, and they've been consistent in doing it.
And they've had some really close games as a lower-seeded team. Elkins is going to head to the free throw line again. They lost to the eventual champs in the first ever GAC tournament in the opening round by 1 point, a 54-53 game. Arkansas Tech went on to win the tournament. as the #1 seed that year. Media timeout with 14:46 to play in the second half. And Northwestern leads by 1 on the GAC Sports Network.
Southern Nazarene University was just ranked the best college in the state of Oklahoma by Money Magazine. That's big news, but it's not a surprise to us. Money ranks SNU as one of the top 50 colleges you can actually get into, and in the top 50 most affordable private colleges in the nation. Why travel when Southern Nazarene University is right here in Bethany, Oklahoma? Inspired academic excellence in a success-driven environment. Southern Nazarene University, the best college in Oklahoma.
41-40, Northwestern leads Southern Arkansas in what's been a back and forth second half. 14:46 remaining. We were talking about the close games SAU has played here in Bartlesville. Another one coming in 2014 when SAU was the 7 seed and they took down Southwestern in the quarterfinals 63-59 before losing to 6-seeded Henderson State in the semifinals. So, you know, we say it every year. It really doesn't matter where you're seated, 1 through 8. It's a new season. Everybody has fresh legs. It's tournament excitement, and we're seeing that here in this one for sure. I don't know about the fresh legs part with the way they've had to play down the stretch, but.
Well, we often talk about this, especially on the men's side of the tournament. We talk about it a little bit more on the women's side. In some cases, man, it's just a matter of what color jersey you wear. At this point in the season, just getting here has been the big deal.
Elkins 6 out of 10 from the free throw line. He has a game-high 15 points, make it 16.
I think, and the lead again for the Mule Riders right now, I don't think that's necessarily the case here. I think that Northwestern, as the pressure is beaten here, Northwestern has earned the right to wear the light-colored jersey. Of course, with the 9 consecutive wins in the season that this Rangers team has had. A block there for Southern Arkansas, though. I think they've earned the right to do that. I think they are a solid #2 seed.
Tennyson's 3 won't fall. An offensive rebound by Perkins. Elkins wants to dial up from long distance. He misses again. 3 chances for the Mule Riders here. All 3 three-pointers miss. Not a good possession for Northwestern. A turnover for Brandon Green. But it's going to go back to the Rangers. It was off of Tennyson.
Well, off the turnover, a little bit ahead of themselves, trying to get down the court. It's going to stay on the Northwestern end. You see Coach Durden on the far side, far left of your screen there. You've got to get his team back focused. Calm down. Play your game.
Errant shot clock buzzer there. They'll put the ball back in play. I think if you're Northwestern, you need to settle down and have a good possession here.
Exactly.
Got out of control a little bit. They were able to get some points inside. Both teams have played well inside. He might try to go back to that.
Well, the defense from Southern Arkansas has shut down those opportunities for Northwestern. Well, yeah, has shut down the opportunities. You know, you get the pass into Andrus that time, kick it back out, take advantage of the three-pointer too. I think that Southern Arkansas is going to at least they're going to try to force Northwestern to beat them from the outside, which, if that was any indication, they can do it.
Tennyson works it inside. Brooks. Tennyson wants to drive. Offensive rebound and put back by Brooks.
Another offensive board for Southern Arkansas. We've seen quite a few in the last 2 possessions. That time the Mule Riders get points on the board out of the trip.
Yeah, 3 of 14 from downtown, so I like that play of Tennyson trying to drive to the rim. Green draws some contact, no whistle. Finds Oglesby underneath. That's going to be a goaltend. Akeem Oglesby's into double figures with 10. Weren't you saying something about all these players that average double figures for the Rangers?
Something like that. 5 players that average double figures for Northwestern. Not particularly high numbers. Halverson's just averaging 12 points per game, and he's the leading scorer. But it's a team concept, and it's team balling. That's what these Rangers are going to have to do if they're going to come out here with a W this afternoon. They've got to keep playing that team effort, team basketball.
They had 5 in double figures on January the 4th against SAU. Oglesby had 17, Halverson with 14 to lead the way. Perkins misfires on a three. Another rebound for Northwestern, Trey Johnson.
Well, think of it like this for just a moment, Michael. I mean, you know, you've got the team that it's the number 2 seed, number 2 team in the league. They've taken down, given the only loss all season to the top team, the regular season champion, Southern Nazarene. You got 5 players that score in double figures. As a pass inside, wide open, nice look down low, and Trey Johnson comes away with it. 5 players in double figures. Michael, where do you think your leading scorer would fall within conference play? Top 5? No, not so much.
Probably not.
Top 10? Not so much. Top 20?
Oh, no?
No.
Wow.
Cody
That's
Halverson.
a team effort then,
That's
like
a
you
team
said.
effort. Cody Halverson, number 22 in the league in scoring, and he's your leading scorer on the team.
12.8 a game.
Exactly.
Wow. A drive by Perkins. Good play.
Johnson again.
Right back the other way.
And that's another assist for Green. Looking ahead, nice pass.
That was one thing Jay Lee harped on before the game. Real team effort here this year for Northwestern. Another three, and SAU just cannot find the bucket from downtown right now. And then another one at the rim for Oglesby. He's going to head to the line. Northwestern's getting rebounds and all the way to the rim in just a matter of seconds. Nobody really stepping up.
Quickly down the court.
Northwestern by 4. We're inside 12 to play in the second half. Back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
For me, that meant that I could afford to go to college. When I was considering colleges, it was important to find one that my parents and I could afford. So I was happy to find that I could attend the University of Arkansas at Monticello at one of the lowest costs of any four-year college in the state. Affordability, tradition, a great college experience. It all comes together here at UAM.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
Well, at the start of a tournament means that last night was the announcement of the All-Conference Awards, and congratulations to Jonathan Dunn from Southern Nazarene being named Player of the Year. Not only that, his teammate Noah Starkey picked up Defensive Player of the Year. Freshman of the Year went to R.J. Glasper of Arkansas Tech. Newcomer of the Year from Northwestern, Trayvon Andrus. And the Coach of the Year was Adam Bohach of Southern Nazarene University.
Now 3 of those 5 names, their teams originating in Bethany. A 21-1 season for the Crimson Storm. We'll have a chance to see them play a little bit later on this afternoon as the top seed in the GAC men's tournament.
Of course, Dunn, a first-teamer. Micah Spate, also a first-teamer. Glasper there. We're used to the name Darrellton Hill, a first-teamer for Arkansas Monticello. Cameron Talley from East Central and Kalen Tappan from Henderson State. Your first-team selections. Hakeem Oglesby at the line for 2 for the Rangers.
I'll tell you, Michael, coming out of the timeout here, immediate timeout there, Coach Sharp talking with his team. I'd really be surprised if they don't try to attack the basket a little bit more. Of course, we've seen some success with them driving the lane, but also the opportunities one-on-one down low. The three-point shot at the moment is not working for the Mule Riders.
You're right.
And see if they push things a little bit, see if they can get the ball on the inside.
3 of 16. Well, Wesley Nosakari is back out on the court for the Mule Riders. See if that changes the inside game. Playing with 2 fouls. There's Nosakari. Easy 2.
It is.
Right-handed hook.
And they needed him back out on the court. It feels like he just started the game, spotted 2 fouls. He spent so much time in and out quickly. They needed him on the inside, and he is effective right off the bat.
Should be a good matchup to watch between Nosakari and Andrus. Collins, 3, won't fall. He almost came up with a loose ball. That's going to stay with Northwestern. Enough hustle there to give his team another chance.
Well, Nosakari not going to give Andrus an easy look. It's going to make him work on defense, but still with those 2 fouls, he does need to be careful. Time running down, he might be able to play a little more aggressively.
Brandon Green. 8 points for Green.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because the Rangers are hitting from long range. Eight for 17.
Tennyson inside to Nosakari. Perkins thought about the 3. Tennyson will take the long range 3, and he got it to go. All right, so that's his first made basket. Maybe that gets SAU going.
Now, he's somebody that's also been one that needs to score, one of the leading scorers on the team. They haven't heard from him yet. Breaks the ice maybe in more ways than one.
Foul was on the floor first. No basket for Green. Draylon Perkins records his first foul. 3rd team foul against SAU here in the second half. Rangers shooting 50% from the floor, 21 of 42. 2 misses there.
And he had the look he wanted each time. Second one I thought was a little bit better because he caught in stride, took a little momentum up, just didn't fall for Harverson.
Aaron Lucas had a spurt there in the first half at the close of the half to send his team to the locker room on a 9-0 run. Let's see if he can get it going again. He's fouled. It's on Akeem Oglesby, his 3rd. Lucas at 73% will toe the line for 2. In the second year of the new format, we'll switch to the women's action in our next game. Lucas with 8 points. It'll be 2nd seeded Arkansas Tech against 7th seed East Central. Arkansas Tech team with just 3 losses this year. Moved up to 8th in the regional rankings, announced yesterday.
It's one of those teams, too. With Arkansas Tech, you always expect them to be at or near the top. And I follow all season long, got to near the end of the season, looked, they have just 3 losses. It seems like because Southwestern had such a gap for a while that everyone else was in the distance, and really, Tech wasn't that far back.
And by the way, an East Central team that handed Southwestern one of their 2 conference losses. That was on Aaron Lucas, his 4th.
The first one, it was a Black Saturday, if you will, for the conference champions in the GAC, as both Southwestern and Southern Nazarene each picked up, after 17 consecutive conference wins, each picked up their first loss within hours of each other.
Wild. Halverson drives on Tennyson. Lucas with 5 on the shot clock. Lucas drives, finds Andrus at the rim. What a play. Talk about a quality possession.
That was a nice move. And you know what? That was a big deal for Northwestern, too, because with about 8 seconds left, they all made the call. Hey, shot clock's running down. We have to make this move now, and they did.
Jones with the assist. Pressure extending out near half court here. Drive by Collins. I didn't think he was going to get that one past Andrus. Northwestern basketball.
Now this may be discussed a little bit.
Yeah, official changes his mind. The other one came in to help out. And it should bring us to a media timeout. Well, SAU had a lead early on in the second half. Northwestern is back out on top by 4. We're back in a moment. This is the GAC Sports Network.
I'll ride the highway. I'm going my way.
If you're a free-range chicken, you roam free. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to GEICO. It's what you do.
Southern Arkansas huddle and head coach Andy Sharp in his 6th season. Mule Riders find themselves down by 4, 7:54 to play in the second half in our first of 4 games here today on the GAC Sports Network. We mentioned our next game will be on the women's side. Then we'll switch back to the men's side for the 1-8 matchup at 5:45. Top-seeded Southern Nazarene against 8th seed Ouachita Baptist. And then one more women's game to follow, Joey, Southwestern and Oklahoma Baptist.
Really interested to see how that one plays out, too. Southwestern, the number 1 seed, the regular season conference champions. But in the last 5 games, the 2 losses. So things have taken a little bit of a different direction. Maybe not direction for Southwestern, but the train that they were on that was driving so fast through the first 17 games of the season slowed down a bit.
We had the chance to watch both teams warm up earlier today, and they had a shoot around this morning. A huge scramble for the basketball, and referee coming in to separate a couple of players.
This has to be a shot clock violation because there you go. No whistle was blown.
Yeah, no possession by either side.
Right.
So
Northwestern has had 8 players see time on the court today, and as you might expect, all 8 players have scored. 3 players in double figures now, led by Oglesby. He has 12. Halverson with the 11 that he had in the first half. He hasn't scored here since the intermission, and Minor has 10.
not exactly the great 8 just yet, though, right? The Harding team a few years ago that only had 8 players.
Now that bench is a little deeper for Northwestern.
Andrus couldn't get it to go. Tapped back in by Green.
Wow.
Well, those shots are falling on second efforts, and that's going to favor Northwestern down the stretch here, I think.
And Green's so close to a double-double right now. He has those 10 points now, 9 assists along the way, too. It's helped his own cause there. I agree with you. I think the way those are falling, I think that does favor the Rangers.
Foul away from the basketball underneath on Trayvon Andrus. That's his second foul. Andrus named a second-team All-GAC selection. SAU's C.J. Elkins was an honorable mention selection. Halverson with a steal on an inbounds play. Finds Green. He had a clear path to the lane, and he's fouled hard. Well, Green took a tumble.
Northwestern second in the league in steals, 7.9 per contest. And the Rangers right now on the afternoon just continuing to find the passing lane and step in there, tip the ball around. That was just a clear interception that time for Halverson.
Put the foul on Collins, his second. Green's going to check out of the game for Northwestern. Inbounds from Jones. Northwestern taking their time, looking for a quality shot. Jones will drive, too strong off the glass. Rebound Thomas. Lucas out in front. Wise decision. Circle that one back around, start over. A look inside to Thomas, had his shot blocked, a foul.
Wow.
Charlie Thomas heading to the free throw line. The foul will be on Greg Minor Jr.
Wow. You know what, for Southern Arkansas, though, not only was it a good look on the inside to find Thomas, I think it's exactly what they need to do. The Mule Riders, they have to capitalize on this man-to-man defense and the gaps that have been showing up from the Rangers. The help has not been arriving in time, and if it's not for that foul, if it's not for the foul when it happens, Thomas easily could have the end one there for the help coming up across a little bit late under the basket. So they're forcing him to make it at the free throw line right now, but there are opportunities for Southern Arkansas.
Boy, Thomas is 0 of 4 at the free throw line. He'd have a nearly perfect game going if he had hit those. He's 5 of 8 from the floor, 5 rebounds. Open jumper from Johnson's no good. Follow, Greg Minor.
Great look.
Second effort, and they're finishing those plays.
Yeah. Opportunities on the offensive end. 9 offensive boards of the 28 total rebounds for Northwestern. And how many of those have resulted in points?
You know, some of this can be factored into the way Northwestern scores the basketball, but Joey, they're 11th in the league in rebounds per game at only 33. It's not the biggest strength of theirs.
Right.
But they have been successful with that today. Foul on Northwestern.
Well, it's really one of those things, too. You look at Northwestern and you see a team, again, that coming in with 9 straight wins. Halverson might get there.
Almost.
Almost.
Now numbers the other way for the Mule Riders. A step-through move at the rim for Devontae Brooks.
Well, he adjusted himself twice. Wow.
Awesome play from Devontae Brooks. Halverson finds the open man. Collins back to Halverson. It's almost a line drive shot.
I was going to say, did that have an arc? I'm not sure. Had just enough to get over the front iron.
It's the 4th three-point make for Halverson. We're inside 5 to play, and Northwestern has a 9-point lead. It'll be 7 now on that dunk from Brooks.
Again. The Mule Riders have enough time to take advantage of that a little bit more. They have to, and they have to get a stop.
Northwestern shooting 49% for the game. Traveling violation. Turnover on the Rangers.
There's the stop. That's the one the Mule Riders need right there. Come down and see if you can get 2 or 3 more points. I would say 2. Try to get the 2 points, pass it to the inside, and head into that final media break.
9th turnover on Northwestern. They're 4th in the league this year, turnover to assist ratio. Northwestern's going to full court press again. Not making it easy on SAU.
Move the ball.
Eventually, I know this team's going to want to shoot another 3, but I think you got to work it back inside.
I do too. I think so. Move the ball. Keep the ball moving.
Well,
that's it.
Long 2 from Tennyson.
But it came off the opening. Tennyson coming off a screen, has the shot at the right elbow there. Keep on moving the ball.
Northwestern by 5. We're inside 4 to play. Andrus lob inside. Mismatch underneath. Easy
wow.
2 for Green.
Nice look. Great pass. It was a great find, too.
That was 6'3" against 5'9" underneath.
Yeah, and how often does 6'3" post up right there on that right block, too? Well, when you have 5'9" guarding you, I think.
Elkins, oh, he steps all the way through but couldn't finish. Tennyson fires. Not a clean look there.
No, he rushed it, too, and the shot clock had reset. They didn't need to go that quickly.
Halverson misses, offensive rebound. We're inside 3 to play, and a timeout has been taken. 2:58 to be exact here in the second half. Northwestern leads 66-59. We're back in a moment. This is the GAC Sports Network.
Yeah.
A triangle solo? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Sam and Joanna saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Arkansas Tech Golden Suns on hand as they will play next, again on our new format, in the second year of this format. The 2 and 7 seeds start the tournament, followed by the 1 and 8 matchups on both the men's and the women's side. And then tomorrow, a whole nother slate of action, 4 more games, 4 on Saturday before the 2 championship games on Sunday.
It's fun time to be a college basketball fan. It's fun time to be in Bartlesville. And I'm glad you're watching, too. If you're not in Bartlesville, just keep it right here because we have some good basketball on tap.
And it's officially March Madness.
It is. It's when we finally got things set up.
Yes, that's right.
We got in and got things settled. It was after February when we got things settled last night.
We made it to Bartlesville by March. But we love being here.
We do.
That's for sure. Doug Self loves being here, our official statistician of the tournament. He's to our right. Does a great job as always.
Mandatory Doug Self drop.
That's right. 1 per game is what he pays me for, I think.
Okay.
Elkins leads the way with 16 for SAU, and Northwestern has 4 players in double figures, led by Halverson with 14. I think this is a big possession here. Coach Durden took the timeout for Northwestern. He wants something important here. It'll be Andrus on the drive, up against Thomas, and he scores.
Really surprised by that. I felt like Thomas backed down there. He has just one foul and there are fouls to give for Southern Arkansas. I'm surprised he backed down like he did.
A steal, Brandon Green, layup.
And if it hadn't gone on its own, could have gotten the goaltending foul slapping the backboard like that. So, boy, a momentum shift out of the timeout.
Trey Davis back on the floor for SAU, controlling the basketball, a freshman. And he almost turned it over. Davis gets it back. A lob at the rim. Somehow it ends up with Devontae Brooks. A foul against Northwestern.
You feel like the pace of the game just took a Northwestern shift. And Southern Arkansas needs to make things happen as we have a timeout on the court here. It should be that media timeout, but it's trending toward Northwestern now.
Starting to feel more like what we saw in the first part of the first half. An 11-point Northwestern lead with just 2:04 remaining in the second half. We're back in a moment. This is the GAC Sports Network.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Got the youngsters on hand here in Bartlesville. Of course, we are broadcasting from the Bruin Fieldhouse, which is on the campus of the high school here in Bartlesville, from the Adam Hooper Memorial Press Row. We're going to take a moment and mention Adam and reflect on our friend who was always so gracious to volunteer here at the tournament, a longtime Bartlesville resident and a graduate of Northwestern Oklahoma State. And so I know this means a lot to his family and his friends. Northwestern getting to broadcast here, and we've talked about Adam a lot over the last several days on social media and with our own colleagues. And he passed away about this time last year, about 7 weeks after the tournament, in fact. He was 44 years old, and we miss Adam, and we're going to miss seeing him here on Sunday, where he was always here to bring us Sprite, water, stats,
whatever we needed.
Whatever we needed, that's for sure.
And a good broadcaster in his own right, too.
I've said to a lot of folks, I'm going to have to find somebody to give me the Bartlesville update because he knew everything about all the schools around this area, and definitely miss him. 1 out of 2 at the line for Brooks.
Well, I'll humbly fill in a little bit. The girls will play for an opportunity. Bartlesville Bruins, Lady Bruins, playing for an opportunity to go to state later today. There you go.
There you go. 10-point game. Well, SAU was going to try to full court press, but Minor blows the layup at the other end. It's still loose. Good call off of Andrus. Lost his shoe, too.
Exactly.
Blew out a tire.
Well, you like what Minor did, the momentum he didn't have anywhere else to go but to take the shot because his momentum was carrying him on through, and there was no one to look back to turn and just drop the ball off with. That's also a big way of how you beat that man-to-man pressure when you're going full court like that. You dribble past it, dribble through, and almost made it into a 12-point game. I'm surprised. I really didn't know if we'd get to 77.4 points. Haven't gotten there yet, but it's likely.
It's close. Northwestern averaging about 76 a game, and SAU's at 77 a game. Here's Tennyson. He buries another three. And now Coach Andy Sharp and SAU want a timeout. So it's a 7-point game. We'll take it as well, as SAU tries to draw up some strategy down the stretch here on the GAC Sports Network.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
Coach Andy Sharp in his sixth season for SAU. Assistant Coach David Anderson. And a 7-point game, a lob out in front. Whoa, Northwestern's getting a little bit risky here. It's a turnover. Aaron Lucas comes up with it. We got a player down for Northwestern at half court. It's 5-on-4. Elkins can't get the three. Offensive rebound. Greg Miner is hobbling around, asking for help, but you can't take him out right now. And they're trying to get a timeout. We'll keep it right here for this one. So Miner just basically fell over at half court. I couldn't tell if it was a knee or an ankle or what, but he's being worked on the sidelines. So Coach Durden took the timeout for the Rangers. And it's a 4-point game all of a sudden.
And from what you're seeing on screen right now, it looks like the knee is being attended to. Now, they could get a stoppage in action because of the play that was taking place. However, I felt like after that first shot was missed, you could have gotten it, the stop then, but especially after the basket was made, I'm not sure the officials ever really saw him.
Well, maybe if he had stayed down at half court, they would have noticed, but he did get back up. Something covering his right knee. Full court press from Southern Arkansas down to 1:23 remaining in a 4-point game. SAU trying to pull off the upset as the 7th seed. They'll need another stop. Inbounds goes to Halverson. And Northwestern's across the half court line. This time they got to just slow things down a bit.
Well, expect the fouls to come.
15 on the shot clock.
Try to get one more stop here.
Jones finds Collins open. Good decision by Collins. Drove all the way to the rim and got a 2. That's his first 2 points. Lucas racing the other way is fouled.
Well, you know, one of the things that Collins did there, too, it took another 3 seconds off the clock.
Right.
You know, had the open look there for about 12 feet. Came in, a little contact, too.
Excuse me, Collins with 4 points, and now he's fouled out. His 5th foul.
I'll tell you what, though, you talk about the first 2. It's the first 2 in the second half for sure, and maybe not a bigger 2 than those.
You're right. So he's replaced by Akeem Oglesby. A.J. Jones thought he was coming out of the game. Maybe not. Didn't realize he had a player teammate with 5 fouls. Aaron Lucas sitting on 9 points, a 73% free throw shooter, and that one does not fall. He was previously 2 out of 2 at the line. And SAU's 10 of 20 at the free throw line.
Well, Michael, I said I thought the fouls were coming. I still think that they may. Southern Arkansas with one more foul to give, too. Have just 5 team fouls. But they tried to get the one final stop. See if you can get that one more stop without, the foul coming. Didn't work, though, off the Collins 2 points.
Nothing yet. Minor across the half-court line. If they're giving it to you, you got to take it.
Yeah.
He's going to go to the line.
Well, you have to give credit to Northwestern in breaking the pressure. The quick passes, the open looks, they're able to get away without just the ticky-tack foul on the opposite end of the court. Then coming through there, I was a little bit surprised. When you're going to foul someone like that, you have to make it known. Lucas tried the little swipe from behind, the little pat the ball from behind, and that was just a good job by Minor to get on through there. And then the lane opened up. Well, you got to take it in.
Minor's an 81% free throw shooter, a rare miss. 8th best free throw shooting percentage in the league this year. And with 41 seconds to play, SAU subbing in Devontae Brooks. Minor missed both and got his own offensive rebound. Here's Green, SAU not fouling yet, and now they do call a foul on Aaron Lucas. And that's 5 on Lucas. Brooks just came into the game. He's the top rebounder in the league. Minor somehow knew that shot wasn't going to go and got his own rebound out of all that. Talk about a key play in the final minute of the game.
Well, if you're going to come in, you got to make something happen.
Oglesby a 1-and-1. Well, unless Andrus gets another 2, it looks like Northwestern's going to finish with only 4 players in double figures today. Both free throws go for Oglesby. He's got 14. Well, if you're Northwestern, I know you want to apply pressure, but you don't want to foul.
No, you don't want to here.
Elkins over to Perkins. Extra pass into the corner. Brooks' shot is no good. And a foul on SAU.
They'll get Thomas on that one. Thomas a little out of position.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Foul on Northwestern. Excuse me. We both missed it, I guess.
Well, it sure looked like he pointed the other way. That having been said, that's a break for Southern Arkansas.
It was on Greg Minor, his second. This is a 1-and-1, and free throw is no good. It will stay with SAU, however.
Now the chess match starts.
Yep. A.J. Jones is back in. Gabe Gillum is in. We have not heard from him much in this one. Perkins to inbound for SAU, has to hurry. It's a jump ball, basically, and Green comes away with it, and he's fouled.
Wow. Southern Arkansas with the tip. A steal, in essence, off the inbound, and still just couldn't come away with it. Green right there on the spot.
Northwestern 74, Southern Arkansas 67. Last time these two teams played each other, Northwestern outscored SAU 37-30 in the second half, and they're outscoring them 41-35 in this one. Tennyson will dial up a long 3, no good. Loose underneath, picked up by Gillum, his first 2. And SAU wants to take a timeout, a 5-point game with 9 seconds remaining.
Trey Davis is going to check into the game for Southern Arkansas with 9.2 left.
We'll keep it here as we get down to the conclusion of this one. Quick timeout for Southern Arkansas. They've got to have a steal and a basket in a hurry. A Northwestern team that won 21 games to just 6 losses, 17-5 conference mark, finishing in second place in the GAC.
Hard-fought wins, every one of them. They won 9 straight. We've talked about that. And of those 9 most recent wins, trying to pick up a double-digit streak here in wins that were less than double-digit margins.
You're right.
8 of those 9 single-digit margins.
Their last loss was a 2-point loss to Henderson State on January 27th. Less than a second goes off the clock for a little bit of a miscue here, the official over at the scores table. They reset the clock to 8.8.
You talk about the Henderson State, that victory against Northwestern there, finished just outside the top 8. That was a dangerous team this year, that Ready squad.
They were.
That's, I think it's a testament to how solid the men's side of the GAC has become here in 2017-2018.
It's the most wins for Northwestern in a season since 2010-11. Not sure what the holdup is here. The clock's off by about a second, I think. 9.2. So Brandon Green will inbound, his team up by 5. And we've got a foul before the ball was inbounded. Draylon Perkins fouls Akeem Oglesby.
You have to get a stop without much time going off the clock. That's one way to do it.
I wonder if we're ever going to see like a 1 or 2 second runoff for something like that in the future.
Exactly.
Foul before the ball's ever put in play. Tennyson's back in, a 3-point shooter back out on the floor for SAU. Oglesby, a 71% free throw shooter. Just the 9th team foul on SAU, and he makes the front end of the 1-and-1.
Are you saying that's something like an offensive lineman faking a knee injury?
I think so.
To stop the clock? And that's what actually, you know, a big part of what goes on in football. You reference that. Sometimes with certain penalties, flags that are called, there's a 10-second runoff to try to keep that kind of stuff from happening in football. I think it could happen here. The rules are fluid.
Oglesby now all of a sudden is tied for the game high, 16 points. He leads his team, tied with Elkins, who has 16.
His last 4 coming at the free throw line.
7-point Northwestern lead, and still full court press here from Northwestern. Ball thrown away. No, Perkins comes up with it. Perkins, 3 doesn't go. Tapped back out. Perkins back to the rim, had it blocked, but a foul with 2.9 remaining. And Northwestern is going to get away with a win here against SAU and advance on to the semifinals for a Saturday matchup at 2:15 with either the winner of East Central and Monticello. Paul will have more on that here in a moment and also tell you about our upcoming games. Free throw is good from Perkins.
You know, you talk about Southern Arkansas really quickly, Michael, and again, this is a team that's here every year, and it's been one and done almost every year. There has to come a time, you'd think, where they're going to break through that. Of course, you talked about the win back in 2014, a big win over a second-seeded Southwestern team then. But I think props to Andy Sharp and this team for getting back to Bartlesville once again and getting into the postseason.
Inbounds to Greg Miner, and the clock strikes 0. Northwestern Oklahoma State now 22-6 with a 76-71 win over Southern Arkansas University. Andy Sharp and SAU season comes to an end at 15-14. And again, Northwestern as the 2 seed will play on Saturday. Let's head to the third member of our crew to wrap up our first broadcast. Here's Paul Smith.
Thank you, Michael. 76-71. Your final score, Northwestern Oklahoma advances. They will play the winner of tomorrow's Arkansas Monticello versus East Central game at 2:15, a game that's actually a rematch of last year's Great American Conference Championship game. Coming up next here on the GAC Sports Network in just about 40 minutes, it'll be Arkansas Tech women's basketball. The Golden Suns going up against East Central in the women's brackets 2-7 matchup. We're one game in, 13 to go. A lot of games here to go in Bartlesville. We look forward to having you back with us when we come back. For Michael Westbrook and Joey McWilliams, I'm Paul Smith. This is the GAC Sports Network.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Do you want more recognition for your team?
Who should I ask if I have any problems? How can I share my ideas?
How can you get involved and make it yours? Joining Student Athlete Advisory Committee allows your voice to be heard.
The mission of SAC is to enhance the total student athlete experience by promoting opportunity, protecting welfare, and fostering a positive image. Who is SAC?
SAC members are student athletes supporting other student athletes. SAC members vote on rules, partner with great organizations such as Make-A-Wish and Team Impact, and build pride on campus and in the community.
There are 3 different levels of SAC to get involved in. At the campus level, there are 307 Division II institutions that sponsor SAC. Each campus SAC is led by an athletic administrator and a committee made up of student athletes from a variety of athletic teams.
There are 24 Division II conferences, each with their own conference SAC. The representatives share best practices, success stories, and new ideas that can be brought back to each campus SAC.
The National SAC is made up of 1 student athlete from each of the 24 Division II conferences. These student athletes are your voice and are charged with the responsibility of relaying the overall student athlete voice for the division.
Your voice has value.
Get involved.
Take ownership in your experience.
Leave a legacy.